Okay, everybody, I'll give you a minute to get in here. See how successful we were. We made it to the other park. We're only about 30 seconds in to give a notification, so a chance to kind of get out there for everybody. There it goes. All right. That looks better. Yeah, something was going on. I'm glad I got that figured out. Hopefully you guys can hear this awesome little microphone I got going on here, so I should be able to walk away and you have no trouble hearing me, so that should work out. All right. Give folks just a second to pop in. All right. Cool. Doesn't appear that way, but there's a couple of things I can do to make sure it doesn't. Then again, YouTube is gonna, so YouTube should be pushing out at 1080 frames or 1080p and at least 30 frames right now. So if you don't have your settings set to automatic 1080p, you will see degradation. If you're here for video quality, definitely head over to YouTube. I will post you guys a link and pin it. Facebook steps it down. All right. Let me grab that for you. Yeah. Oh, YouTube says 722. And that figures. Okay. All right. I am going to grab a link from YouTube and pin it for you guys. If we continue to cover other topics, we are gonna potentially have to move platforms. So I want you to get a little comfortable with checking out some other platforms here. So let's do it this way. I could use a Facebook mod. I don't know where Tiger is tonight. It's probably busy. There it is. Paste. Pin comment. All right, so now that I've got that all checked in. All right, guys, so we've updated our phone number on Facebook. Let's talk about a couple business things real quick before I jump right in. We've got that all taken care of, so that's all settled. You can text me, you can call me. There's not a lot of chance probably that I'll answer, but you're free to leave a message. I'll make sure that that voicemail is set up appropriately. If you've managed to stop in and join us, please make sure you like or comment and share it with your friends. That's the best way that you can support us. I was asked this week how we're funded. So just to clarify that, we're not funded. We're viewer funded, which means any contribution that you guys want to make to my channel, my Cash App is on my business card. You can find links to that in my business page on Facebook, and there's also a PayPal, okay? Because it is an LLC, it does have its own place where money goes. So those things are pretty helpful, as now we're spending some gas to get to and forth from places. Gas seems like it's going down a little bit, but it's very disappointed that we're excited that gas is down to $3.98, just about $4 in some places around here. Depends on where you're at and the demand. We did have Watkins Glen races, so you know, prices seem to get inflated when those things happen. Anyway, so here we are. I did stop at Cherry Street Park to check in. The grass was cut. The material that's growing in the mold is obviously still there. There was some folks there. I didn't, want to set up, so I'm at the other park. The grass has also been cut here, but this is in the same disarray that it was when we were here earlier in the summer. So really nothing here has changed. Not even sure, maybe the slide railings and things were painted that were the bare metal, but that is just me speculating. Would have to go back and check the pictures that we took. So that's where we're at. All right. And again, thank you guys very much for joining in. Let's see. Hey Keith. There we go. Now I see your comments. All right. So after the election, so midterms are coming up. If you are not registered to vote, I don't think you're out of time. A couple of things actually that got brought up, Keith. We can talk about that. I got to experience some new people. If you were here for the commissioners meeting, you got to see a little spice, I would call it, at our commissioners meeting. Go back and reference Mr. Coolidge is very emotional about the voting situation going on. Don't know much about it. It's not something that we've been focused on here as far as Lawrenceville goes. You guys have heard me talk about maybe doing a register to vote campaign and seeing if folks were comfortable going door to door. Now this is not party affiliated, and you guys that have hung out, you know that this isn't what we're talking about. We're not talking about party affiliations, and labels really aren't kind of our thing here. If we want to get into more of that, maybe when the winter comes and things slow down, maybe we can talk about that. But at the moment, we're really focused on issues that directly affect you and me, or potentially affect me, because what we know is, me as your neighbor, if you don't do well, you will be absolved into our township, and then we take on your debt. So I certainly don't want my taxes to go up, and I just believe in accountability, right? So there's a few things actually about that we can talk about with accountability in Lawrenceville. I did get the meeting minutes that were approved for August. It is in there that Cindy did reach out and request financial documents, but has yet to receive an answer still, and that was the meeting minutes from August. Oh, there was this little thing that I wrote down that I wanted to grab, but I don't see it now. And I want to show you guys something interesting. So this is Tioga County 2021 Auditor's Public Report. You'll notice that it's quite thick. There is 8, 12, 22, 34. Oh heck. It's 40 pages, okay? What we received from Lawrenceville Borough was only 3 pages, and that was the shortened version. What you find inside these audit reports is a breakdown of revenues and expenses. This is all generated by QuickBooks. We've done a little bit of learning about QuickBooks, and you can actually see, directly where your money is going. And if it's listed, as a contractor, you go to the office or you fill out a right to know request form and you get that information. So this particular report, again, is 40 pages long, and Tioga County provided this to us. This was of no charge. So this was just available for the public to see, and we got this while we were at the commissioners meeting. All right, so commissioners meeting, like I said, it was kind of spicy. It's only like an hour long. It is reversed. Oh, we can flip it, because I do show you guys a lot of paperwork. Small adjustments here. All right. Wrong way. All right, but I do want to hope, can you guys see each other's comments? Hopefully, is that working? Because the little chat widget. There we go. Yeah, that should be a thing, hopefully. So I was hoping that works out. So microphone working, little chat widget should be working now. If you guys say type a comment, say hi, hello, any of those things, we should be able to see them now across platforms. So like I said, those of you that are on YouTube for the video quality and not necessarily the conversation, I wanted to bring it to you to make sure that you can join in on all those things. So the not backwards version of Tioga County 2021 Auditor's Report that is 40 pages long with revenues, expenses, details. This is what that document should look more like. All right, so this is a great example. And again, if it says that it's a contractor, you know, advertising and postage, you guys have seen me request invoices specifically for advertising expenses with the Lawrenceville Borough, and we've received 2, and I did post them. One was for the Mansfield Gazette, and I believe the other one was for the Penny or the Dollar Saver. But don't mark my words on that. Wellsboro Gazette. There's 2. Anyway, take a look at those. They're also with that Penn York accounting document that I actually have here on paper. I said we're learning a little bit about QuickBooks. This was brought up in the meeting. All the dates of services are for the same day. I actually requested this. Mr. Chilson had asked Miss Burrow, had made a comment that Miss Burrow's cost the borough money because she requested a meeting with these folks. Unfortunately, we're actually unable to determine which of these lines or visits. You'll see travel to appointment with client for agent 2. Now those are only $25 an hour or quantity or trips. However they're measuring that, we don't actually know. That's not put in here. Okay. Here's another meeting with the client. This is a half a unit, but this type of meeting is $150 pay rate. Okay, so we are completely unable to determine if any of these meetings were with Miss Burrows. So we can't determine if Miss Burrows cost $50 or, you know, or if that was Mr. Chilson's meeting. We don't know. None of that was clarified for us still at the meeting. I think those are great questions for you guys to be asking. This bill was $7,312. $7,312, and those 3 pieces of profit and loss report is so far the result of your $7,000 at work. That's just that in a nutshell. Hi, Paul. It is a very, very nice little town. If you tune in and see what's going on, you're going to be very sad to find that during COVID now and post-COVID, a lot of business has not been taken care of. Albeit that the direct result of the council members changing. They were, you know, the people voted and things have changed. There's some different people. It is a very small town. It's a very low population. I think the news just reported, I think 600 or so is the total population, and the water supplies 300 people, and that is maxed out. There is a waiting list if you were hoping to get hooked up to water here. We know that Eddie Wetzel and his family have been on that list for some time. You can see that stuff in our live streams. So, all right. We've seen Mr. Coolidge get kind of emotional at the commissioners meeting. I'd love to invite you guys to check that out again. I think that what happens there is really important. I really like the way that they conduct business. I like the way that they get their business handled. You know, in the beginning, they open the floor for public comment, and everyone's very professional. You know, we hit them with some really hard questions last month, and got reported on. We made the paper, and for all the flack that I give everybody about spending $2.50 on a paper, I bought that one for me. It was written about me, so I did in fact spend $2.50 on a paper. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Anyway, I was talking crap. From the commissioners meeting, we met some folks. They're called Freedom Watch, and they brought, I have a blank copy of this petition. I think I'm going to post it for you. 30 counties have sent this in with signatures, and I think it's important to talk about, but we have to be careful how we approach these kinds of topics because of, you know, the corporate overlords, and we want to hold on to our channel. We don't want to get it taken down. But these are definitely conversations that we can have, you know, in person, over the phone. We talked a little bit about maybe Discord. I'm thinking about maybe setting up a place for us to meet so that when I'm sitting here doing this, you guys can pop right in to my ear or on speaker or on video. As the weather changes, we're going to move into my office, which is in the process of becoming a studio, so I'm certainly not inviting you there yet. That is coming though. We can thank Miss Robin for the sound panels to help make sure that it's not echoing off all of my walls and we get to maintain a quality product. You're still probably going to find me using the iPhone. Won't lie, not interested in buying a camera for my computer. I don't need it for my job. I don't use it for my job. You guys are the only application I really have for that. So we're really rolling in the iPhone specialties. So something to take away, you know, from this discussion about, you know, hand counting ballots, that I think is important to mention. This is not my idea, but a hand count in a random, you know, amount of municipalities. We're talking about municipalities having ballots, as was stated, between 800 and 900 ballots, which isn't really unreasonable to expect a handful of people to go ahead and hand count those and verify those. I think it would help re-establish integrity in our election and our voting process and the machines that are being used. I think it's important to understand the technology. You hear a lot of things get thrown around like a VPN. So maybe one of these nights or tonight, if you guys are interested, let me know. We'll discuss a little bit about what a VPN is, what it does, how your data is routed, what the FCC is responsible for, and some legislation during Obama actually that changed everything. It's not even new legislation. If you're interested, it's called net neutrality. You should take a look about it. You'll hear Ted Cruz as a Republican speak about it. You'll hear Democrats speak about net neutrality. What you've heard focused on recently is Section 230, which is the difference between a publisher and a free speech platform, and that's where what I call the corporate overlord conversation comes in. And we are on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, so you can check us out on any or all three of those platforms, and that's the best way you can support us, is make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, so that kind of business out of the way. Again, make sure you're registered to vote. They just put legislation through that if you are registered as an independent, you can now vote in the primaries. So if you missed out on that, make sure that you are registered to vote. If you don't want to be party affiliated, you can absolutely register as an independent and now participate in the primary elections. So that did change. I may not have posted that legislation, but I think it's important. I might remind me. So some notes I took away, some of the objects that we were talking, you know, and I just kind of crossed over really quickly. Let this be my official statement, maybe for a second time, that I'm not interested in doing a story with the mainstream media. It was offered basically as a result of my unwilling participation in their coverage of your meeting, but it happened, okay, it did. And I just simply asked them to bring my logo forward to make sure that I got credit for it, and a link to the business Facebook page. That was all I asked for. That's all I was interested in, is making sure that we're getting credit for our hard work and our dedication. We show up to each of your meetings that is, you know, happening in there, and we stay for the entirety. Okay, doesn't matter how long it goes on. We stay for the whole thing, and I've put a lot of effort into bringing y'all a quality product, and I think if you are serious about covering and care about what's going on in the community, you stay for the whole meeting. I don't get paid to be there. Sure, we can all agree on that. All right, so all those things aside, I brought up the VPN. We talked a little bit about the request at the commissioners meeting for hand counts of the ballots. I think that's a great idea. Freedom Watch, that was their name. I'm sure they're on Facebook. I don't have any links to them. If one of you guys want to reach out and share your community link to me, if you're watching, please do that. I think that's a great thing to be looking into and talking about. We could use all the hands and eyes that we could get. So something I wrote down I think is interesting to bring up is the mainstream media has diluted or discredited, especially the Supreme Court right now. There's a lot of talk about the recent Roe v. Wade overturn and how that affects us, you know, directly as citizens. And what the problem, I think, with that conversation is, it's a very emotional topic, right? And it's based on emotions, opinions, and moral values. And there isn't a single right or wrong answer to that. And I think what's important, and I thought about maybe reading you guys a little bit of the Constitution tonight, in especially regards to the state's right to make their own voting rules and laws. But it's important to note that there's a lot of power that resides in the states. I mean, how much do you want your federal government to control your quality of life? And I posed this question the other day, and if take something away from tonight, I want you to ask yourself if you think that your quality of life is better now than it was in 2017 or 2018 prior to COVID, okay? Yes, COVID happened. COVID was real. I'm not blaming it on anyone, but we should all be asking ourselves, the midterms are coming up. There'll be a general election. It'll be here before you know it. Has your quality of life improved? And those are the issues that we should be talking about when we're talking about who we're going to vote in office to represent us. These are people that we put in place to work for us, okay? And that is their job description. Okay. I've also noticed that it's a pattern and a trend getting direct, clear, and concise answers from even elected officials. So I have the struggle at Lawrenceville. I frequently have to repeat or rephrase my questions numerous times to get some kind of answer. It's not usually clear or concise or any of those things, but I give them something's better than nothing. So that seems to also kind of be happening. I noticed at the commissioners meeting when I asked them, you know, if they have any advice for you guys, they don't. The only thing that they have repeatedly emphasized to us about Lawrenceville Borough is that someone has to reach out and ask for help. We heard an exchange and conversation between Mansell and Mr. Chilson during this last meeting. I believe you can actually go back and listen to it. I do have some improved audio. I have been working on a video, but I have been very busy. So I do kind of apologize that I haven't got you guys anything kind of highlighted from that yet. It is in my mind. I think that the news actually did kind of that great little snippet of opinions and statements that are frequently made about, you know, items not on the agenda. That we learned how to add items to the agenda and get them voted on. So PSAB, hopefully that becomes a reality. Mansell managed to get that added to the agenda and managed to get it passed, voted on, yes, to get it paid for. Now, we will find in those meeting minutes, after they get approved next month and we request them, you're going to find that Mr. Chilson is consistently voting against a majority of the council on issues that are front and foremost really important. The mulch at Cherry Street and accountability. You guys know we posted all of the evidence about what's going on there. I don't have to think I deduce it for you, but we reached out to McLill Enterprises for comment at one point. They did not get in touch with us. If you're watching, you know, please, our contact information is all on the business page. I would absolutely share anything that you have to bring, you know, to the residents of Lawrenceville about that playground fiber that was delivered. We've got photos of the trucks that dumped it off. There's just really no question about kind of what it looks like is going on. So if anybody has anything to add to that or bring to the table, please do. You can do it anonymously, but unfortunately it won't bear, you know, a lot of weight because, again, we're here for transparency and facts. So it doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room for emotions, which has been my goal, and I hope that I've achieved that. So they are looking for some help, actually, because the midterms are coming up. Any of you guys that are interested in poll working, Penny Whipple is the contact down at Tioga County. If you would like to get involved, please reach out to her. I'm sure that she'd be very excited to hear about some help. From what I understand, it's a very long day, but it sounds like it could be a long day of snacks and awesome interactions. And for those of you that are from here, you get to see, you know, your neighbors and sometimes folks. I hear a lot that, oh, I got to see people I don't see in a long time. So that was kind of neat. That was really cool that got brought up at the commissioners meeting. So we talked real quick about the mulch. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. You guys can go watch the video I did. It's 20 minutes long the other day on scene. I posted some higher resolution photos. I did not receive any kind of for sure answer about what that was growing over there. What I will say is it's still there. The grass was cut. There was some dirt dumped in the hole that had the bubbles in it. That looks like it's been filled in some. So that was before I came over here. But there was some folks in there. So I hopped right out of my car and said, hey, I just want to make sure that you see This is what we found. This is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's dangerous. Not all mold and not all fungus is dangerous. So it doesn't, I can't tell you that. I'm not an expert. That is a Jake break in town, but I may be okay here. I'm not sure. I'm going to be apologizing about the noise. I didn't think there was that much traffic over here. You gotta get it somewhere somehow. Alright. I still would love to do a walkthrough around Wellsboro for you guys. I think that the architecture down there is absolutely it's American. It's old. It's American. It's just great architecture. These buildings are old. I finally got to visit Blossburg for the first time. Let me tell you that was great. Their municipality building is another old building with these really gorgeous keystones in them. It's great. We'll get to check it out sometime. I want to mention something else about Tioga County while we're on the county topic. Pennsylvania was awarded a $45 or $46 million for election help, right? For money to put towards whatever they need to do for election. Tioga County is specifically receiving, ready for this, $133,752. $133,752. I believe I posted the article about it. There it is. That's the amount that Tioga County specifically is receiving. And that is just for elections. It is not designated to a party or any specific committee. I would reach out probably to the clerk at the county if you're curious about what those funds are for, or if you are part of the election folks. Again, if you want to help out, reach out to Penny Whipple. Her contact information is on the county page. I have posted with the agendas and stuff for you guys. You can find it there. Reach out to me, I'll send it to you. All right. Mr. Mayor Chris brought an offer to the table for the dike and levee maintenance. We had some conversation about that at this last meeting. Mayor Chris's exact own word was astronomical. In some of the paperwork that I've gone through, it looks like a bid to do the lawn, the grass cutting and such for the dike has cost around $1,000. The offer that Mayor Chris says is the only bid on the offer comes in at $40,000. So Mr. Chilson asked me if I thought that the borough should pay $40,000 for the levee to fail its inspection this month. I can't answer that question, but I wouldn't pay anybody anything to fail an inspection, and this is certainly not how I would conduct business if this was my property. I'm just going to be very direct and straightforward with you. I specifically asked if the lack of bids and even employment applications, job applications, if anybody thought that that left Lawrenceville Borough open for to get taken advantage of, right? Because if there isn't competition in the market, here's a guy who says, well, I'll do it for $40,000, even though your budget's only allocated $40,000 and your inspection is going to fail. Sounds like you don't have a lot of choice. You don't. Who's going to come do the work? I mean, there's already people that live over there right now that are trying to help maintain it because it's part of their area. They have to look at it. I'm going to imagine, I guess, that the folks that are on the council probably don't live over there and don't see the dike out their window. We know that Mr. Chilson certainly doesn't live anywhere near. He's looking at the dike out the window. So maybe it's not an eyesore or a problem for him. But if you have pets and you know how the tick population is around here, tall grass like that's actually not good. So regardless of what we don't know about the levee, it's just not a good way to treat the people who live here. So that really should get rectified. And thank you to y'all that have been, doing your own thing. You're using your own gas, your time, your energy, and your resources to help keep that cleaned up on the side where people do live. Thank you. That's what it takes to make a great community. And that's exactly why I came here. So I'm trying not to hold my breath. They're playing on the really old spring thing that I don't think I've seen that in a playground in a decade. I love the slides here because they're the dangerous slides. They're my kind of playground, which means it's dangerous. So that being said, we haven't really talked a lot about this playground. I have posted pictures for you guys in the past. It's in pretty bad shape. The slides are the fun kind that burn your skin when it's hot. And there's still a really tall one. Maybe I'll show it to you on the way out. The grass was cut here. The grass was cut over on Cherry Street as well. It's really still kind of wet and moist on this side, so I probably would be running around and slipping and sliding and falling in the grass. But then again, I probably would. So I don't know how much. Can you hear? Can you guys say that you can hear like the lawnmower, the motorcycle, the Jake brakes? I'm kind of curious how that's worked out because I'm not actually monitoring my stream. Let's see. Yeah, it is a nice little town. So midterms are coming up. Reach out to Penny Whipple County if you're interested in helping out with any of that. There's oh goodness, what's going on this next week? So the Tioga Borough Water Authority. Tioga Borough's monthly meeting is unfortunately the same day as you guys here in Lawrenceville. So we have a schedule conflict in our ability to cover that monthly meeting for them. I know that they didn't have enough members to hold a quorum. It looks like they've been working on that. They were recently advertising to hire a secretary. I believe that rate was $15 an hour. If you're interested, they pay for your bonding and any training that you need. So I think you can reach out to Mayor David Wilcox for that. He's on Facebook, and they could use some help too. So I don't know a lot about how their borough operates. Like I said, we went and did the One Water Authority meeting. We might go Monday again just to kind of see what it is and what it's about, because it's our only water authority that's close by. As most of you know, Lawrenceville dissolved theirs. I was told due to kind of erratic spending. I read a couple of articles from that time in town, and they kind of reflected. You can hear all the traffic in the lawnmower. Time to go to Rod Cells. You know, they have a great spot there, and it does. When I drove by tonight, there was quite a few cars in the parking lot, and it makes me feel good, because what I feel like y'all have been represented in the media. I feel like they told people don't come here to the restaurants and things, you know, the water is bad, and the water has got some things going on with it. I'm, again, not an expert. I posted some documents for you guys. DEP and EPA is involved. If you want me to take the time to read what DEP is not answering me back, they're just not. The answer to all of the questions that I've asked that have even gotten more direct simply states it is the responsibility of Lawrenceville Borough. So the responsibility of having a certified operator is Lawrenceville Borough. It is not Tioga County, it is not Tioga County Commissioners, and it is also not DEP's responsibility. However, DEP at this point appears to be the enforcement body. They have not, Mr. Chilson is not wrong, they have not instituted any fines, okay, or civil penalties. So either of the two language words that you want to use, they have not. Okay, there's been no fines, no civil penalties issued to Lawrenceville Borough. So just to make sure that we are clear on that. Now, I asked them if not having any, issues as far as supposed operations of the water sewer plant gives the impression that there's not really a need to hire someone to do the job. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. And they still state that they're the governing body that says you need a certified operator, and that is that. There was no elaboration necessarily even on why. Don't want to do an off-the-record meeting with their attorney. I think that's counterproductive and doesn't fall in line with our company mission. And I did not get to ride my bike enough this year. I can feel it when I see everybody else riding. And the season's almost over, so there's a little discussion about maybe a rally, getting some people together down at the county. I would love to cover that. Somebody made a comment about justice for Lawrenceville. That could be a thing. If you guys, you know, will definitely want to organize or get together, I'm here to give you a platform, you know, to do that. I'm more than happy to host you. If you've got questions, you know, for the commissioners and stuff, or at the meeting, if you can, I know a lot of people can't make it. That's okay. That's why we're here, and that's what we're doing. I'll do the best I can. I try to keep a 3-question rule for each meeting that we go to, just for the sake of time. But if it's a great question, all eyes are on deck. Over 1,000 people looked at those photos of the mulch, okay? Certainly not as many people watched the video, and that's fine because the evidence is right there in the photos. 1,000 people looked at that. That's a good thing. That means people are looking. I haven't received an answer. I don't have any idea if anyone contacted the health department. I think those are all fair questions that probably someone should answer. If you've contacted the health department, you can let me know privately, because I do believe that even that is an anonymous report. So that that is that. I can actually see, I got the number right here. It was, I'm gonna walk out towards the other side just because I don't want to film anybody who doesn't want to be filmed. So 877-724-3258. Thank you, Keith. You're very welcome. You know, and that's humbling. Again, wanted to just make sure that everybody that was watching the news knew that they could find the documents. You know, those DEP documents that they flashed up on the screen. You can read those in their entirety as official documents directly from DEP on my page. They didn't cite those. They didn't even post them on their web article that I had seen. Not that I went back and clicked it a bunch of times because, well, that I'm not getting any benefit out of the revenue that they're making out of my content on that video. So, again, thank you guys for your support and your words and your encouragement, because it really does help. I am viewer funded, which means I'm funded by me. So I did apply for approval to run political ads on Facebook. That is not a revenue avenue I necessarily want to roll down, because we don't talk so much about party lines and affiliations as issues that directly impact you as an American, as a citizen, or as a Lawrenceville Borough resident, a Tioga County resident right now. We've got a few folks from New York that are watching. There's folks from all over the country that are watching, because you guys aren't alone, okay? I posted an article earlier today that they're prosecuting a DA for not complying with a court subpoena. So people are out there watching. This group that's called Freedom Watch, I think has their intent is great, and I think that the name Freedom Watch encompasses something that we're all concerned about, and is something that's worth it, you know, because are we concerned citizens? Sure, we're concerned citizens. What are we concerned about? You know, we're concerned about our right to clean water. We're concerned about our election integrity. We're concerned about inflation and the cost of gas. All of these things are real issues, okay? And they affect everybody. So your party affiliation, as far as I'm concerned here, it doesn't matter. We are the grassroots movements of each party, and this is kind of where they start and where they come from. So it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, which party you support. We're here talking about the water that y'all are drinking, the playgrounds that your kids are playing in, the streets that you're driving on, whether or not you have good police officers. So remember, Tioga Borough, Schuylkill County, PA. Keith, can you elaborate on that comment? Because I'm not really sure totally what it means, but I would definitely be more interested in exactly what you're referencing there. That'd be cool. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. It is getting darker earlier and earlier, so Halloween is going to be coming up. I think there should be something fun to go check out for that. I was hoping that September 11th wasn't quite as rainy as it was. Unfortunately, the weather was crappy. We didn't really go cover anything. Everything that was outside was moved inside for September 11th. And And that was kind of how that went. But you know, sometimes I've had some busy things happening, as most of you know. So time is the one thing that you can't get back. So I think that's a reality. And thank you guys for checking in. There was a few more things I wanted to cover. You live in St. Clair, PA. Got it. Okay, so that's a different county entirely. So we're learning about the geography of Pennsylvania. As goofy as it sounds, my geography of California, Florida, and Texas is probably better even than Pennsylvania. So I really look forward to getting to know the area. Like I said, I got to go to Blossburg for the first time. Really cute place. Not that big, you know. We're very small communities, which come with their own unique set of issues, okay, or social issues even. There's a pretty substantial drug problem that's going on in Tioga County. I don't know much about substance abuse programs or human service programs. There's other folks that are looking into that, and if that's something that hits home with you, you know, reach out to me, let me know. If there's resources I can help provide you. Almost all of us are impacted in one way or another, you know, by the substance abuse situations that go on. You know, maybe it's a relative, someone you love, a friend. Almost all of us have a story, okay, about drug addiction and how it impacts, you know, a family or an individual and how it impacts their life. So your brother lives in Lawrenceville. I think your brother made the newspaper too. Maybe we'll reach out and see if he wants to talk to us about how that went for him. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but he definitely made some news there, and I believe he's got the link to it. But he's got to reach out and talk to us about it. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm hoping to get you guys kind of an example of what an interview format will look like. The lapel mic seems to be working. You can see, look, I'm going to walk away a little bit. We're getting a little bit better this time. I want to continue to provide you guys with a quality product first and foremost. So again, just like Keith is on YouTube chatting, I wanted to give you guys a chance to see all of the comments, and it doesn't matter what platform you're on, if you're here for video or audio quality, if you're here for information, if you're here for the documents. Anything helps, okay? So if you find value in what we're doing, make sure you hit the like buttons, subscribe, turn on the notifications. We went, the cross comment was great. That, and see, without using Restream, I wanted to keep it as organic as possible. So I thought that'd be a cute little tidbit for you guys. So we can elaborate more on that next week. Again, if we find something while we're out and about, or you let me know if I'm home. You know I don't leave a lot. Like I said, I certainly haven't spent enough time on my motorcycle this year, which means I don't answer the phone, you know, when I'm on there. So I will be unreachable as that season kind of comes to a close. But my husband does a great job of messing up the end of his summer just about every year. But he's walking around and he's doing his thing. So thank you guys for all the thoughts as far as that goes. He's doing fine. Just a spill. It was not on the motorcycle. It was related to the motorcycle, but it wasn't on the motorcycle. So we can always be thankful, right, that it's not worse, and remember that somebody else has got it worse. At least he's got both his legs, and he's still making a mess in my house. Lulu has officially moved inside. Her and the bobtails are doing quite well. Everybody's doing pretty good. We're not leaving them unsupervised yet because I'm not comfortable with that. Her and the dog are the best of buds, of course, because I have a dog that I think he thinks he's a cat. I don't know. He needs the emotional support cat. He's already got two, so it turns out he's got a third. But all right, think about your questions for the next meeting we're going to be at. Will be what? maybe the Water Authority meeting for Tioga Borough. So take time, go back, check out our first live stream of that. I'm not going to boast that it was a great product. It was a stream and it was there. We had no context. We were alone, actually. No one showed up. We were the only observers there for their meeting. And I'd never, be really honestly, even went and checked in to see how many people viewed that video. So we might decide to do that. You know, kind of see what the schedule is like, what the weather's always like that contributes, and whether or not you guys find me something else to do. So I took some great notes this week. I met some really awesome people. Again, I just want to say thank you for your encouragement and your kind words and your support. It's tough knowing that what we're doing is important, and that we're having a hard time kind of getting the message out there. Did the mainstream media report on it? Yes. You've got that headed there in the right direction, and you've got it going for you. We've got it going for us too. We are headed to the county level, all right? We're asking questions. We're asking about accountability. I actually drew up and I couldn't find it, and it was really small. It's not like you would have seen it, but maybe somebody who's cool and a little bit more artistic than I am. This flow chart, right, of actions and then accountability. What I found based on the information given to us from DEP is Lawrenceville Borough water and sewer employees are the actions, right? Comes to DEP for accountability, but then that flow chart is circling right back to Lawrenceville Borough, and it doesn't seem to be going any farther, you know, from there. So we have this circle of DEP in Lawrenceville Borough, no county involvement. The EPA involvement we haven't heard about yet. That's something I'm still waiting to hear back on and exactly figure out if there's a contact for that. We have to keep in mind that this is under current investigation, so there are some comments that can't be made or things that can't be alluded to. So we're still waiting on clear and concise answers in relation to the actions in the administrative order. You guys can also find that posted. What else? There's all kinds of things posted. Check that Penn York accounting bill, guys. I pulled it out. I've posted it, I don't know, at least twice. I just wanted to know how much money Cindy supposedly cost. I wanted to know how much these meetings were. And what it did is it opened a box of other questions. Now we're learning a little bit more about how QuickBooks works, how long it takes to put in information. We got a little bit of advice on that. If anybody knows anything about this mysterious stuff growing over there in the park, please reach out, because if we can get that information to the people, you know, that are exposed to it, you know, anything that's gonna or could happen or shouldn't be exposed to it, that's the best thing that we can do. DEP admitted to never, DEP has never issued, okay, a notice to Lawrenceville Borough for anything. Okay, I asked about a notice for anything, even though there's definitely violations that we found in the past where Lawrenceville Borough failed to notify its residents of a problem with the public water system. We found this to be real. DEP admitted that they have never stepped in. DEP is not stepping in. The county commissioners are not stepping in. So if you want to go to the next commissioners meeting, hit me up. If rides are an issue, maybe we can get a couple of us together with cars and we can carpool, okay? If we can start getting people to show up, me being the only voice is not, it's just not gonna cut it. And you know what these people go, well, she doesn't even live there. No guys, I don't live here. You do. This is your children and your pets and your families and maybe your grandparents or your brothers or sisters or cousins or uncles, all right, that are drinking this water. They're paying taxes here. They're paying maintenance fees. There's no maintenance being done, and every single one of those employees make $14 an hour. And what are they? They're laborers. There's no one certified to submit these samples for testing, which in my science eyes says that none of those results matter, because if they're not being performed by certified folks, they don't matter. It doesn't count. If I try to submit stuff, you know, I can give you guys, I can post documents. What's to say it's true? And let me leave you with something to think about, okay? And this one doesn't hurt as bad as the other ones that we're gonna encounter in the future, because keep in mind, I am press, I am media. Everything I do is intended to elicit a response, okay? Whether it's an emotional response or an intriguing response. If you want answers to questions, or if you get mad mean, you should be mad. I'm kind of mad, but I'm pretty cool about it, so it doesn't really rub off a whole lot on it. But you guys have heard me tell Mr. Chilson that it would be 25 cents for each copy of a document that he requested from me. I said that out loud. Yeah, it was kind of funny, but oh man, I mean, when you start falling into their traps of the games, you know, and the manipulation that's happening, even people that are articulate like me get caught up in it. Okay, so, and that's why I'd love to see you guys up at the meetings. If you don't want to apply for a permit to protest, show up at the meetings, okay? Attendance at the meetings doesn't require a permit. Bring your signs, your t-shirts, your art, a poster, whatever it is. Bring your voice, okay? And that's what's important. If you do manage to put this together, let me know. I'll film you so that people can see it. The news crew doesn't show up ready to film like I do. They're plugged into a wall, they've got cables run through the meeting building. Why would you get a permit to protest, Miss Cindy? Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Hi. So you would need a permit to protest if you were going to go down into the county and protest. As this kind of got brought up to me recently. Let me reach you up a little bit here, because now you got me excited, because you guys show up when it gets dark out. But the sun's going down earlier and fall is coming. So I was talking about a permit to protest, my dear, to protest. So that's a real thing. You can't just, you cannot just go take a group of people and signs and things like that and go post up down in Willsboro, or really, I think really anywhere. Private property, yeah, but there's not a whole lot of places that are private property. So that being said, yes, if you were interested, yeah, no, not in Lawrenceville town. I'll just say that I think that the better effective, if you were to pick a spot, the corner would be great. I'd love to film it. If you guys get together and pick a day, it's something we can talk about again on Friday. Reach out to me. The new number is posted on the Facebook page. I feel like a broken record. Some of you guys, obviously, Cindy's coming in late. I'm so glad to see you. Public streets, yes, but there are, not having access to ordinances makes things difficult, but this might be something that you can help us out with, is finding out for sure, like how many people, how much it notice, if it's got a, you know, fee associated with it. Yeah, let us know for sure what we can do about that, and I'll be more than happy. And you know what? Invite your neighbors. You don't have to be a resident here, okay? How many people that protest in DC live in DC? They don't. This is America. We care about our neighbors, we care about our friends, and check in on your veterans. I always end with that. Not sure that I'm totally done. I'm pretty done. We had a great sunset last week. We live in a beautiful country, you guys. There's no place like here in Pennsylvania and upstate New York. These are mountains. They're not hills. They're not California even. We've got access to some of the cleanest drinking water on the planet, and here we are messing it up. People are trying to figure out how to charge their electric cars or run their air conditioners, okay? We don't know how lucky we really are. If you've got to make a choice between taking a shower and doing a load of laundry throughout your day, you need to ask yourself what your government's doing for you. It hasn't come here yet. They are some of the oldest mountains in the world. And you know what? When I drive this highway out here, you guys, the way that this has been up and cut out of the mountain, because it wasn't up, that's all new to me. How the heck did those soldiers travel through here? Blows my mind. I don't know how they did it. I can't even imagine the methods or what it was like, you know, to walk the unoccupied areas, you know, that we haven't developed. For those of you that are into hiking, I used to do it quite a bit. I like to walk. I also like to see the outdoors and get eaten alive by bugs. But yeah, no, this is a fantastic area for hills and mountains and the wildlife. So I would never discourage anybody from coming to check it out. You can hear me. Yay! All right, so I hope this mic worked out pretty cool. This first splitter I had ordered, there's a thing about Apple things and splitting audio and power. It didn't work, so we got to exchange that for one. It should be here on Monday, so maybe that'll be something to do Tuesday or Monday night for the Water Authority in Tioga Borough. yeah, so I'm not really sure about a whole lot of events that are coming up. I haven't had a lot of time to poke out the Facebook feed. If there's something that you're hosting or you have going on, send it to us so we can share it and repost it. All of the outreach and the people that we can kind of make contact with is absolutely, that's our goal, all right, is get everybody together and make change, right? Let's make change. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Cindy. Jay, thank you for commenting. I think I seen Paul in here tonight. Thank you very much. Supportfreedom.net is also hosting us on their webpage. Supportfreedom.net, no spaces, all lowercase. Supportfreedom.net, you are going to find patriots. You're going to find live feed content from all over the world, not just the country. You will find protest and rally information. That he's got a great setup going on, but he's just like us. He is, yeah, that's it. The link right there, Jay posted it for you. He's got a great setup, but just like the rest of us, you know, we've all got day jobs, and we're trying to do the best we can to make a difference, you know, in our communities and affect change. So they're just another small part, hopefully turns into a big part of making sure that we're all doing okay, all right, and we're getting to checking on each other, and it's a good way to keep in touch. So if you haven't checked out Discord, get started to get familiar with it, because we're gonna move some content over there. We're gonna move some conversations over there. It's a great way for folks to interact with each other. It's organized. A lot of people have moved on to Telegram. I find Telegram to be pretty disorganized, and I really like the idea of being able to see us all face to face, kind of like a Zoom meeting. It's a lot more safe than a Zoom meeting. We're definitely not here to steal any of your personal information or anything out of your computer. I will assure you that. We will have those online safety talks when those moments and the needs arise. That's also something I think is really important, is making sure that you're safe, you're using good judgment on your online presence, you know, with your commenting and who you are and what's going on. I'm here to take some of that liability, especially off you guys that are residents here in the borough. So thank you for joining me. We're at 57 minutes or so, because I goofed up the first time. So for those of you on YouTube and Twitch, good luck. I didn't have a whole lot of silly stuff to bring to the table. It's been kind of a more somber atmosphere lately, and I look forward to the weather changing and things looking very clean, because that's my favorite part about winter and staying inside. So as my office becomes a studio, I'm glad you guys could hang out with me and join me, and maybe next week we'll pick a different spot. Maybe we'll invite a guest next time. I have an extra microphone that's this style, plus I have that other microphone that's going to work as soon as the proper splitter gets here. Lots of things to be excited about, guys, and that itemized profit and loss report, because I believe when we receive this profit and loss report, we're going to have something really big. Okay, we're going to have some really big stuff for you, so you stay tuned, hang out, make sure you share with your friends. That's the best way that you can support us. If you find value in what I'm doing and you want to contribute to the LLC, the Cash App, okay, it's $ IONU Media LLC. That's the Cash App. The address to the PayPal is also there. I will set those up. I'm funded by me, okay, and as that question gets presented to me more often, I want to be very transparent with you. This is my money that I work for. Miss Robin did help us with equipment. We just started doing this with what we had and what we found. I mean, my old iPod is what I recorded the audio on at the meeting. As I'm working on a video for you from that, you'll get to hear that, okay, the fruits of that. But goodness, I think that thing's 7 or 8 years old now, but a good thing never dies. It was just little, had to figure it out. So, all right, thank you guys very much for joining me. Reach out. Even when you comment and I'm not live, I will reply. I want to make sure that you know that that's clear, that you don't have to be here at the same time. I know that folks are busy on Friday nights. I'm just not, and so far it's worked out pretty good. But if you guys want to get together or do something live together, let me know. I'd love to host it. I'd love to help teach you about how to get that going and working and set up. And Anna, hey, So, quick recap so you don't have to go back. I stopped over at Cherry Street Park. The grass was cut. There was nothing mixed up. The mulch wasn't mixed up or anything, was exactly as we seen it the other day. Unfortunately, there were some folks there with their children playing there. I had to get out and I show them what I seen. It's up to them to deduce whether or not it's an issue or not. That's not up to me. I'm not an expert. I don't know if it's moss, fungus, mold. I don't know. But I know how comfortable I'm not with it. And over 1,000 people have looked at those photos. So you can always share those. Thank you, Anna. You can always share those. Share the page. Tell your friends. They don't have to live here. Okay? You don't have to be from here to see what's going on and to be concerned. Because I'm going to tell you what, guys. All the stuff you see in the news, it's coming to a town near you. So let's stay informed. Check on each other. Check on your veterans and thank them. Thank them. And have a safe, great weekend.